Welcome everyone to our third episode of following our Greek Odyssey as we travel to the beautiful Greek island of Ikaria in the North Aegean. My name is George.
And I'm Stephanie.
And we're both, I won't call us elderly, but we're in our 70s. We enjoy traveling and being together 50 years. We go to the places we feel are best to share.
On our flight, we had the pleasure to meet Diane Kochilas, who is famous for her Ikaria cookbooks and recipes.
No need to be flying with wings. We were happy to find our rent-a-car waiting for us with tires that would soon be taking us through many adventures.
We drove to the harbor town of Ios Kyriakos to pay for our rent-a-car that had the keys in it waiting for us.
Stretching our legs a bit, we decided to walk around this beautiful little picturesque town. The harbor, the food, of course, we had to stop and have a meal, and then onwards to see different shops and get some supplies for the next stage, which would be going to our hotel in Evdilos for a few days.
It was a beautiful drive along the coast to our next destination of Utopia Homestay, where we met with the owner who gave us a wonderful discount for off-season, and we had beautiful views. This was a building that was next to it. We thought that was our place, but no, it was a little run down, but we had a wonderful view. Anyway, just kidding. Buildings around, but they were pretty much empty at this time of the year. We liked the decor, fireplace, which we didn't need quite yet. It came with a fully equipped kitchen and a tour guide. Hey George, how you doing? Planning our next day?
Our host was even nice enough to leave us a couple bottles of his delicious homemade wine, and just as delicious, his homemade baklava.
Right around the corner, we stopped for our first morning coffee.
Our first ancient ruin said sex shop. I don't know how ancient it was, but we decided not to investigate and keep looking for other sites. Besides the beautiful beaches and delicious food, there are also many very ancient forests on the island with big trees that have been there for thousands of years. Just as ancient as the trees are the heavy winds which blow this part of the island, and probably took Ikaros on his flight through the heavens, but the sun melted it, and down he fell into the sea.
Time for an afternoon break of fine wine, delicious hand-cut French fries, Greek oregano, and olive oil, to set off on our first trip through the monastery.
And passing another restaurant which used to be a boat.
Our next stop was to visit new friends of Dina and George through our friend Maria Stella, who we've known for quite a while.
George and Dina are a wonderful couple who also live in Australia but enjoy coming back to their homeland in Ikaria. Both are authors, artists, and enjoy walking through the beautiful mountains of the island, as well as helping preserve it through their environmental activism.
After a delicious lunch and interesting conversation, we walked down to the beach to pick up the extra plastic that was coming in from the ocean. Here they are making interesting art objects. And we had time for a swim. After an enjoyable visit to their house, we joined them in Evdilos for afternoon coffee.
The next day, we drove along the coast to the southern edge of the island, past beautiful beaches and many large and interesting rock formations.
Of course, we had to stop for lunch, And here we are, waiting for the fine meal to begin. Further on, we found a lovely stone-made church with a beautiful view and interesting architecture where they had two rocks coming together, making a triangular shape, and inside was a large bell and a place to sit.
The next day, we met up with our friends Dina and George again, who also knew another older friend we had made on the island called Dimitri. Dimitri was one of the first environmentalists who was able to stop the construction of many power lines, and I was very looking forward to seeing him again in his off-grid little cabin. However, George and Dina took us on the walk to where his house would be, but he wasn't there at the time. But it was still lovely to be in this very pristine, healthy, beautiful spot.
Even though we didn't get to see Dimitri, we got to see some interesting wild sheep who wanted to sing to me. Bah, bah.
A bit off the tourist track, we ate at a delicious meal at a very small taverna where the music, dancing, and delicious wine just kept flowing. After leaving our room in Ephesos, we stayed 2 nights in Therma, named for the thermal hot spring spa that has been considered a healing center on the island since 750 BC. Ikaria is world famous as a place where many people still live way past 100 years old, and it's renowned throughout the world for its longevity. A lot of this longevity is attributed to the climate, the food, the amazing wine, which was passed down from a vine from the god Dionysius, a spiral dance, which keeps people healthy by doing it once a year with a community, and finally, and not least of all, is the spa, where the healing waters that we were about to enter provide even more healthy attributes.
The water was a little rough today and of course a little cold trying to get in. However, over to the right is where the water comes out between rocks that is pretty hot. If you prefer, there is also a well-organized interior spa close by where there's a medical staff that can help you out with your certain issues if you have any.
And besides the medical, there are also alternative healing providers there for anything from acupuncture, Reiki, and of course massage. Experiences in Ikaria were amazing with new friends and adventures, but also it was very nice hanging out with our good friend from a while back, Maria Stella. Before leaving the island, we shared one more delicious vegetarian meal with her, and were also able to have a nice conversation about not only how beautiful and wonderful the island is, but also the challenges modern times are presenting with industry and over-tourism.
Sadly, the time came to leave the island, and we had just enough time for another swim at the beach that's closest to the airport.
Besides the beaches, there were many beautiful mountain villages and places that we didn't have time to go to on this trip. But I like to mention from a previous experience the village of Ikaria, which features that circle dance that I mentioned, which is very ancient, very healing, as well as they have a very intricate way of honesty with customers at the shops. If you come in after hours, they leave the shops open, and whatever you want to pay, you put the money in this little box, and everything's good. In conclusion, Ikaria is a beautiful island off the major tourist trail, and it's filled with passion, humanity, and delicious wines and liqueurs.
And we definitely look forward to coming back again soon.